it's all about. It is your voice we want to hear. So you're welcome again. And the last time we met on this program, I know we highlighted so many things. We talked about the Cleaner Lagos, how Vision Scope was working in some areas. Some people called in to say there's no sign of development or change in their area. We talked of PHCN, we talked of potholes on roads. Now, 2 weeks after, it will be interesting to hear from you. You know, what has changed? Do you see any change at all, or the situation is still what it was? All this we'd like to hear as an update. But I must say that in some areas where I visited, you know, last time on this program, I talked about the potholes on Ajao Road, you know, the bypass. And passing there through this morning, there's some work going on. The potholes are being patched, not all completely, but there's progress there. So that's a good sign we see there. And it's like the people are really listening or watching a citizen's voice. We also talked about the Mushin axis. I told you there's an improvement there, especially with Vision Scope. They are still working, even as at last night. But the authorities must take note that portion that was repaired between Idioro and the main bus stop is caving in again by the side of the petrol station. The potholes are coming up again. 2 big ones are there now, and they're beginning to slow down the traffic. So it might just be well for you to patch them again so that traffic can flow easier there. But around you, those you have seen, we would like to hear. Now you know that we have a new Democracy Day, and that is June 12th. That will be fully celebrated as from next year. It used to be May 29. But now, if you had a chance to decide which of them should be Democracy Day, that's May 29 or June 12, what would be your choice? We went out to ask some people what they thought about that. Let's take a listen.
June 12 should be declared Democracy Day. The reason is that Chief M.K. Abiola, the acclaimed winners of June 12, the acclaimed winner of the general election conducted in 1993, he was not given his mandate. And it was the same June 12 that gave birth to democracy. Do you understand me? Without June 12, there wouldn't have been a Democracy Day. So to me, June 12 should be declared Democracy Day. 29 is just like a day set aside for inauguration. A day set aside for inauguration. So I just want to reiterate that without June 12, there wouldn't have been the Democracy Day. There wouldn't have been May 29. Because May 29 to us is the day that Nigeria returned to civilian government after long years of military rules. Abiola fought in order to regain his mandate, and in the process he was killed. He was killed. So his dream that he was trying to actualize, he couldn't. So to me, without June 12, there will be no Democracy Day. So the day that should be set aside for Democracy Day is June 12. And what President Buhari has done, he has done anyway. Many people say that it was too late. But to me, it is done, as he has done it, it is better for it not to be done at all. If you seek the opinions of many Nigerians, they will all attest to the day, June 12, as the Democracy Day.
You can't change history, I know what I'm saying. So it has been May 29, and I don't think any reason, though it might be 1 or 2 reasons by him to make the change, but still, as a Nigerian, it has been written in our heart, and it has been written in history that May 29 is Democracy Day. So any other thing, I don't know. It may be due to his own motives or reasons. But as a people, as a person, I believe that history is still history. May 29 is supposed to be our Democracy Day. He, as a person, you know, as a great man he was, he may be honored. He may be honored, that's what I'm saying. But I don't think switching from May 29 to June 12 should be a remarkable reason. I get what I'm saying. So he need to be honored for so the country can coin a way to honor him, but switching from May 29 to June 12, I don't think is a very good reason.
Okay, June 12 is declared by the Lagos State government as an anointed election which Abiola MKO won, which was anointed by the federal, the military government. You understand? But declared by May 29 by the federal government, that is democratically elected government democracy of this Federal Republic of Nigeria. That is how it stands. Yes, May 29, federal declare democratically day, democracy day of this Federal Republic of Nigeria. F stand for MKO Abiola by the state government, because that a nation was anointed, which is supposed to be established, you understand, authentic winner of that election. That is how it stands. Okay, May 29 should be declared as Democracy Day of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
All over the world, they know that what happened on June 1993 is a word that it's the event that all over the world know what is happening, that happened in Nigeria that day, which is the election was so. I'm so young, but I know that according to what I heard, I know that the election was so peaceful. There was any problem in any part of the Nigeria. Even the aspirant which you are talking about, the MK Abiola and his running mate, they were Muslim. Then there was anything that we call Christian and Christian or no Christian. That's what is happening nowadays. So that date was a day that Nigerians cannot forget. It's a day that Nigeria should accept that it's a democracy day in Nigeria.
It's May 29. I know that May 29 was is a day that, you know, in fact, it's a real democracy day. Because June 12 is about the nullification of the death of Abiola. Is that not it? But May 29 is the day they were prescribing those people, you know, that have voted, the elected people. That is June 12.
Okay, diverse views there. Some going for June 12, others going for May 29 on Democracy Day. Well, remember, that's not the subject for discussion. It's just one of the things you might want to talk about. We're not restricted in any way, but that's what we want to ask people just because of the development. Okay, so don't be restricted. Whatever it's on your mind, you're free to share with us. You're free to share with us. Let me begin by telling you that one party in Nigeria, the name is Justice Must Prevail Party, is saying that if they win next year's general election, maybe at the national level, they will construct a perimeter fence around Nigeria. So they're going to construct a fence. They're going to fence around Nigeria and change the name of the country too, and also the currency. So we'll not be using the Naira again if they win, Now, the acting national chairman said that, Dr. Olusegun, he said that the change is necessary for Nigeria to make progress. The name, he suggests, will be Pisonia. Well, we don't have the interpretation of what it means. He said he would change the name Nigeria to Pisonia and Naira to Pison. I wish we knew what they meant or which language or tribe that is, but that's the way it is. He says our currency is being printed outside the country with the connivance of some people from within. So one way to make sure it's steady is to reprint and then change everything about it. Well, that's a view coming from Justice Must Prevail Party. If they win, we'll have a new name for Nigeria, new currency, and the country will be fenced around, okay? Let it not be another Mexican border. Okay, that's not the subject for discussion, but you might just want to also air your view on that. Do you see that as a possibility that a fence could be built around Nigeria? So it will be fenced, just as we fence your compound. This party is proposing that they will do that if they win. They will change the name of Nigeria to Pisonia and change our currency to Pison. I wish somebody knows the meaning of those words and to tell us what they stand for. Okay, that's from the Justice Must Prevail party. The numbers are on the screen. Whatever is on your mind, let's hear from you now. You remember there's no restriction. It could be what you've observed in your own area, in your own environment, about the country, about the state. You say it as it is. So we are waiting for your calls now. We're waiting for your calls, trying to see the first caller for today. What is on your mind? Is it the Democracy Day you want to talk about? You welcome it, the new date? Or you feel it should remain May 29. But remember, it's been done, and there's no changing for now. It's just to hear what you think as a citizen, Okay? The roads in your area, power supply, well, that remains a problem, a challenge everywhere. But I don't know whether the Vision Scope team has visited your area. Well, in my area, they were there asking for the status or number of those people in the compound. Maybe they are planning something. Okay, we have James on the line. James, you are the first caller. How are you?
Hello.
Hello, Citizen James.
Good morning, good afternoon.
Is James not on the line?
My view on June.
Hello?
Very, very okay. We honor somebody like that.
Hello, James.
But declaring that very
I can't hear you, James. Are you on the line?
I'm on the line. Can you hear me?
You are very faint. You are very faint.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Okay, okay, better, yes.
Yeah, I said honoring somebody like Abiola is very, very okay. The president to do that. But declaring that very day, Democracy Day, is not worth it.
Okay.
Because if we should start declaring that very day, Democracy Day, we have many other heroes who have made Nigeria what it is today. Somebody like, okay, I don't want to go far. Let us start from somebody like Awolowo. Who the same Abiola? This is for what is this called? The northern man. That what should happen to Awolowo? We should declare a day for Awolowo to run. Awolowo is still greater than Abiola in this very country. So why would we declare a June 12 a Democracy Day? Why we have May 29? Okay. Somebody like Abiola, who has, when we were small, we used to hear people like Fela about him, especially Fela is blabbing or lying about him. So people like him, we know what they have done to this country. He only used philanthropies to cover up. How do you understand? Except those who doesn't follow history. But not people like me, I follow history, I know what I'm talking about. And every other valid Yoruba man know what I'm talking about. He is the person that makes Awolowo fail the election in Nigeria. We all know that. And today they are celebrating him, making him a hero. What? If he has won the election, if they have declared him winner and he sits on the seat and died the next day, what happens? We will have made June 12 a Democracy Day. The Democracy Day, the whole world understand about Nigeria is May 29, and that was the answer of the military. That is what we take. So May 29 should be made our Democracy Day. Thank you very much.
All right, James. Okay, I don't know. Are you still there? You said he made. I think I heard that he made Awolowo lose an election. Well, I wanted you to throw more light on that, since you are a history student. Okay, James, thank you for your contribution. He prefers May 29 as Democracy Day. No problems. No problems. You're entitled to your opinion as a citizen. But many people have hailed that decision of the government to change that date. So, but we just want to, feel the pulse and hear what you have to say as a citizen of this country. So James is the first caller for today, and he's in support of May 29 as our Democracy Day. That's the way it has been, But as we all know, it's now June 12, based on the new declaration. Okay, but remember, that is not the subject we are discussing per se. That is not to say you must talk about that. If you have other things on your mind, please let us know. It could be from your environment, what you've observed. Is it PHCN? Is it Vision Scope? Is it the bad roads or good roads? Whatever it is on your mind, please let us hear. It could be a national too. It could be a national issue. All right. So we're waiting for your call. Thank you, James, for calling. You're the first caller for today. We've talked about the party that promises to change the name of Nigeria, change the currency, and fence the country. You know, so there will be a wall around the Nigeria. So we'll be just like you fence your compound. I think he says that's for security reasons. For security reasons. So before you enter Nigeria, there must be a defined entrance route, as it were. You don't just come in from anywhere. Hello, Citizen Paul.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. I so much love your program.
Thank you.
Yeah. Please, I want to beg this PHCN in Ikorodu to please, the bill they are bringing is just too much. This one is more than a crazy bill.
The bill?
Are you with me, sir?
The bill?
Yeah, the bill. The bill they are bringing.
Yeah.
The NEPA bill.
Mm-hmm.
Are you me?
Yes.
Even when we are able to party through election, sometimes last year and 2 years, we were still paying 6,000, 8,000. But our greatest surprise now, it brought 20,000, 25,000.
Yeah.
And they even paraded the whole producer, telling people to pay. That if they fail to pay by Tuesday, they will cut every light. Is this kind of democracy we're backing for? So please, something has to be done.
Okay. Okay.
And the earlier caller that was saying something about Joshua, about Abiola. Joshua is not all about Abiola, though. It's about democracy. But it's very unfortunate that we've not really practiced the kind of democracy we want, or the kind of democracy we bargain. But Joshua is not all about Abiola alone.
Yeah, yeah. I agree with you.
Are you with me?
I agree with you, yes, yes.
Okay. So that is my contribution. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Paul. You are the second caller for today. Yes, certainly, June 12 is not just about Abiola. They use that occasion to honor him and others just because of the role they played. But I think it is to immortalize that landmark development in our country, in our political journey, where elections were, for the first time probably, declared free and fair, devoid of religious or ethnic connotations. If you see today, I think yesterday someone was warning that there must not be, I think it was Wanyang, I watched him on a program talking about there's no more room for a Muslim ticket or a Christian ticket in this country. And that has become a norm or a standard. But during the Abiola, for example, it's like it didn't matter to anybody. It didn't matter to anybody. They were both Muslims, and they went through. So that's how important, that's how significant that election was. That's that. So it's not about Abiola per se. It's about the memories or the steps, the giant steps towards democracy. Okay, so we have James, we have Paul, and Paul is complaining about the NEPA bill, or yes, PHCN bill, outrageous. We've talked about it, and we'll keep talking about it. We'll keep talking about it. As I said once on this program, when mine came to, I think it was 20-something thousand, and I said, what is happening? But the striking thing about it was that it's the same thing they gave the 4 flats in the compound. And it doesn't make sense. There's no way we all can consume exactly the same thing. And that was forced me to their office. And I was told, and I've said it on this program, that they do not read the meters anymore. What they do is they calculate what is there at their central meter or so, and they just share it within those, you know, among those who consume light from that source. And it means, for example, they will say this compound will give them 20,000, for example. And if you are 2 tenants there, they will share that 20,000 between 2 of you. And you have the same bill, and that's what you pay. If you are 15 you share it too, and so on and so forth. So that's what they're doing now, and that's what they explained to me. They went further to say that they have discussed this new arrangement with the CDAs, and that the chairman should be able to brief the residents of the new way. So your meter is more or less useless for now. It's like they have a target and they must achieve that target. The only way out is to have your prepaid meters, and that's why Nigerians must raise their voices for the supply of prepaid meters. That solves the problem for you. Hello, David. Citizen David. Hello.
Hello.
How are you, David?
Hello. Yeah, I'm good. Good afternoon.
I can hear you. Welcome.
Hello. Good afternoon.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
David calling from Ikeja.
Okay. Yes.
I want to say something about the meter, or the, let me say, NEPA bill.
Okay.
I think it's a crazy bill that they are giving these days. Could you imagine they brought me 146,000 naira, urging me to pay before Tuesday, and I've been writing several of letters to them. Then there is no reply, and then they will be urging me to pay before Tuesday, or they will cut my light. I've told them to come and cut it off. I don't want NEPA light again.
Now, is that a factory?
So I think Nigerians should do something about it.
Okay.
We are paying for what we do not consume. It doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. I agree with you.
Also, I want to say about the Democracy Day that we are talking about. I just want to believe that the government of the day is political.
It's political. Hello, David.
Are you hearing me, sir?
Yes.
Yeah, the government of the day, I think, is political because if they would have done something right, I believe the first tenure of this, or let me say the first year of their administration, they're supposed to declare that June 12th, Democracy Day. But now they've seen that things are falling apart. They want to amend things the way they want, the way that will suit them. It doesn't really make sense. But I agree with them that June 12 should be made a Democracy Day, not because of Abiola, but because of Nigerians. How many people lost their lives and the struggle that we all gone through that period of time. June 12 is right to be a Democracy Day, but though it is political at this point in time. So I don't agree with them. But it is well. We give God the glory that we succeed that democracy struggle. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Citizen David. Thank you. Okay. Yes, thumbs up for June 12 as Democracy Day, but the political undertones is what he disagrees with. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Citizen David. Of course, he talked about the crazy bills, as we call them. They remain. I've just told you what they told me, and it's like no one can change it. I always say, and I keep saying it, PHCN is going the way it's going for two reasons. One, it appears the government is not ready to put its feet down and say you must go this way. Two, they know we don't have an alternative. We don't have another choice. That's what it means. If we had another means of power supply that is effective and affordable, I'm sure 90% of Nigerians will say goodbye to PHCN. Citizen James, you are back?
Yeah, James called back.
Okay.
Yeah, well done, sir.
Thank you.
I never knew the program was to do virtually everything that is happening around you.
Yes, you can talk about it, yes?
Good. I want to make emphasis on the NEPA issue. One, the kind of bill they are bringing, it is the one they don't use their meter. Secondly, they give them a target in a particular undertaker. That is what they give them.
Yeah.
Something happened in my office last 2 months. We did not pay for NEPA bill. They disconnected us. We refused to connect it back. This is 2 months now. They've been bringing bills. without we using NEPA light, because we are the solar people. We install solar for ourselves or be using solar. You understand?
Okay.
And for over 2 months now, we've been using solar in our office, and yet NEPA has been bringing bills. On what reason? On what base? So there is high corruption in NEPA that EFCC should tackle.
Okay.
You understand? And nobody's saying anything about it. That is one. Secondly, if anybody knows, if you know Jesha too well, there is this additional road which they used to do campaign sometime, I think 2015, before the election. They did that road to a particular state. They just did the gutter, they destroyed the whole road. It wasn't motorable. That road has not been motorable for like 3 years now. And now again, they started this road for about 4 months ago. As I'm talking to you now, they stopped on that road again. What is this all about? They condemned the first one, the first gutter they did. They start another one. Now, by now, they stop the work at a particular junction again. Thereby, they destroy the other gutter from that express, the express, down to Okada Junction. And as I'm talking to you, that very road is not motorable. And the governments are not doing anything about it. We waited for them. The speed they use in starting that work, we all believe that by now they would have finished that road. But now, look at, they have stopped the move of the vehicles. Just apart from one truck, maybe the truck going down there. That is what is in there. So, is this the government you are talking about? Please, with your power, tell Lagos State government, let them complete this road. If they are putting it in their road and they finish that road, please let the Lagos State government know it today that that road is still under construction and is not motorable for over 3 years. Thank you very much.
Okay, James. What's the name of the road again?
Adesina Street.
Adesina Street.
By Express. It links between Jesha Express and Okada Junction, where they have the Tirekate local government.
Okay.
Inside the airway.
Oh, so it's even close to the local government. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, James. Now, there's something we are not doing as citizens. We see, we've just cast our votes and we go to sleep, as it were. We don't monitor, we don't watch over the government because you voted them in to serve you. And I believe the CDAs and various other interest groups have a role to ask questions about what's happening in their locality. If you find CDAs that are effective, you will notice a change or a different approach to things in that environment. When the citizens are aloof, you just stay, you don't ask questions, but everybody's on its own, anything can happen in your environment. You need to monitor, you need to question. So if the CDA takes it up to write to the local government or the state government, drawing attention to certain things, you will find that you will receive some attention. I think the government, plays on the fact that you don't care, you don't bother. And so anytime, but if you care, I think they will sit up. So let's begin to do that. Hello, Fred.
Good morning.
You're welcome to Citizens Voice.
I want to comment on this.
Okay.
PHCN of the state member. I think they should try and this prepaid meter to everybody.
Prepaid meter.
What the deal they are getting. So they should try and distribute that prepaid meter. Because this is like that getting the citizens, they are operating on. Because we don't have right to wear our fear. They say this is a government of change. And we are not feeling the impact. We are suffering under this government. So they should distribute that prepaid meter if they really want us to carry us along with their government of change. Thank you.
All right, Fred. Straight to the issue, just talking about PHCN and the crazy bill again. And of course, he's saying the answer is give us our prepaid meters. Good. And that's where I fault the government. I don't know the technicalities. I don't know the laws guiding them. But I know as a government that they have the power. In short, they've said it before in the past, but they never actioned it. Give the distribution networks or the power, whatever you call them, the mandate, give them a timeline. Between this time and that, you must supply prepaid meters to the people. Simple. I mean, they gave some houses freely. They didn't pay anything for it. I know that. So why are the rest suffering? Those you've given to, what did they do special? Prepaid meters were given to some people freely. They called it trial period or whatever. After that, more people received. Why have you stopped distributing prepaid meters? It's just to enslave the people, to me. There's nothing else. But that's where the government should step in, and that's where I fault the government. You're just watching the situation, maybe because you don't feel it anyway, I don't know, but there's nothing done there. What is impossible, what is wrong with giving a directive to PHCN? We want prepaid meters distributed between June and September to all consumers. What is wrong with that? Maybe somebody in government should tell us why that is not possible. Because people have received theirs. Some people have theirs in their houses. They didn't even ask for it. They didn't even expect it. They just brought it to them, installed it, and they're enjoying it. They're free from all this headache. Why are the rest paying outrageous bills? No answer. And no PHCN official will come and tell us why those bills are done in that way. They just tell you how they do it. The reason behind it, they won't tell you. Why must you share the bills equally to all flats? Why? Is that the way it is done? They'll tell you your meter is coded, whatever that means. But you see your meter running. That is where the government should step in, I think. But if there is a difficulty, why the government should not step in? That's why you find certain communities, all they do is protest. They just stage a protest. We don't want NEPA, this and that, this and that. After the protest, the whole thing dies down. The bills will still come. You had somebody who's been disconnected an office, and yet the bills are still coming. And the same institution came to disconnect, but the bill is still running. Citizen Aremu, how are you?
Aremu, how are you?
Hello? Hello?
Hello, sir.
You're welcome.
Aremu Eunice from Odola.
Okay, welcome. Yes, what's on your mind?
Ma, I'm not using light for the past 2 years, and they are still giving me bills without using light. Now they said they are not doing the bill again. They are sending it through the phone. The one they sent to me this morning, they say I have to come and pay 181,000 when I'm not using the light for the past 2 years and more than that.
You are not using light for the past 2 years because you were disconnected or something?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Who did the disconnection?
They have disconnected the light. I called them to disconnect the light, and they disconnected the light. They are still bringing light. More than 2 years, I have not been using their light.
Okay. I think you've got to go to their office, because I remember a case like that. What they told us was that we didn't put it in writing. And I said, you came to do the disconnection yourself. So why would you want me to write again to tell you that you've disconnected? It's funny. But you should put it in writing and go to their office.
Hello.
Hello. Can't you hear me?
Hello.
Hello. I can hear you.
The problem started from 2016.
Yes. Yeah, what I'm saying is that...
Hello.
Hello, Aremu. Can't you hear me?
Hello.
I can hear you.
Are you hearing me now?
Yes, yes.
Now, the problem started from 2016.
Yeah.
So they brought bill for 4,000, and I paid 2,500. I traveled. That's the second day when I paid. So by the time I come back in the next 3 months, they put 27,000, which I complained. When I paid the money did not reflect. And I called them by myself. I said I don't need their service again. They disconnected the light. And they disconnected it. Since that day, they have been giving me bill without using their light.
Okay. What I'm saying you should do is to put this thing in writing, what you have just said, put it in writing and take it to their office. Because there was a case like that, and when we went there to ask why is the bill coming when it's been disconnected, they said they had no written information about that. It's such a funny system. they did the disconnection, but they want you to put it in writing so they will stop sending the bills. So I will encourage you, write this very thing you've talked about.
Hello, ma.
Hello? You're not listening to me.
Hello, ma. The last time when I went there, they told me they have the other day to come and collect the light back. I told them that I don't need the service that they are giving me now. I don't even need it. I want to pay meter. And they said when the pay meter is ready, they will let me know. But up to now, they didn't come. Until I saw another message this morning, they said I should come and pay 101 on my phone. And I told them, I said the message back that they cannot take cover from my hand if they need money. I cannot pay for the service that I did. I cannot pay any cover for because I did not use their life. So I'm not ready to pay any cover. That's what I said to them.
Okay. All right. If you can hear me, what I suggest you do is put your case in writing. Tell them when it was discussed. Just what you have just said now, put it in writing, take it to their office, and it will be registered as a written complaint, and that will help you fight your case. If you just keep talking about it, nothing written, PHCN will not listen to you. I was trying to narrate an experience that we had some time ago, and that was what they said. So you have to put it in writing that with effect from certain date 2015, this line was disconnected, and this is the situation, and so on and so forth. Put it in writing and take it to PHCN. You know how they do it. They will minute on it, pass it to that, pass it to left, right, and so on and so forth. But that is how you are likely to get some result. Oral complaints will not help the matter, and that's the experience we have with PHCN. So if you are thinking of not using PHCN, that's the light, make sure you put it in writing, stating the date with effect from what date, and take that letter to their office. Have your own copy too. Have your own copy too. That's the experience from PHCN. Okay? All right, we'll take a short break here, and we'll come back and take more of your views. Don't go away. Well, it's like my people are not ready for the break, so we go on. The views are not limited. Your experience could be varied, yes. So just call any of the numbers on your screen and tell us what you're going through. Nobody has talked about cleaner Lagos today. I mean, how clean is your environment now? Is it better than it was 2 weeks ago, the refuse? We've said on this program, suggesting to Vision Scope or Loma, whoever is in charge of where, to have a kind of timetable that will guide the people. If you drive through streets where there are houses, of course, you will see heaps of refuse in people's houses, in front of people's houses. And that shows that there is no plan for disposal. In the days of Loma, they went through streets, and people would bring their rubbish and, dump in and hand over to them. It's like nothing is in place these days. So it's filthy. It's a messy situation. I think Vision Scope should work out another formula for disposal of refuse or collection of refuse. If people in a particular area know when you are coming around, they will just make time to bring out their refuse, and you will collect them. You will collect them. But as it is, there's no guide, there's no formula, and that's what we see. That's what we see. And that is why you find that the roads, the bus stops are always messed up, because it's like they just wait for the night, those who don't bother, they just wait for the night to come, and they go and dump it, overnight. So even if you clear it this evening, the next morning is filled up again because people have brought out their refuse. But if they know when you are coming to their area, I don't know how long it will take those in charge to work out this. It's been in existence before. One would have thought that you just continue and develop on what you have. But it's like that plan has been cancelled, and you don't just know when the refuse collectors will come. But if people know, I think they will plan better, and we'll have a cleaner Lagos. It's a major challenge. We keep talking about it here, because if you're talking of health, then you must talk of a clean environment. You must talk of a clean environment. A situation where people pour things inside the gutter, inside the drainage system, because there's no formal disposal system is unfortunate. So please, Vision Scope, you need to wake up in that area, or Loma as it were. I guess the medical waste is not suffering what we're talking about now. There's still a systematic way of collecting them. But we are worried about what we see on the roads, talking about dirt, talking about refuse. The bus stops messed up, the streets messed up, and even people's houses. And that is why I also suggested on this program that the government should soft pedal on cat pushers. Instead of driving them away, why not work out a system where you monitor them and direct them to a particular place? They have been helpful, especially in the rural areas.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Good morning.
Is that Thomas? Yes. Okay, you are calling from Ikorodu? Yes. All right, you're welcome. Yes? Hello, Thomas. Oh, it's like that call is gone. Okay, the proverbial NEPA, everybody's talking about them. So everybody's talking about it. I think only those in government quarters don't talk about PHCN. Maybe they have a special service line or so. They don't bother about it. That's my opinion. But the ordinary citizens are worried. Somebody talked about 120-something thousand as bill. And it's not a factory, from what he said. I mean, it's not understandable. It's not understandable. Well, if you have arrears, okay. If you have arrears, okay. But not just a month's bill. But if you have arrears, it's understandable. Okay. Whatever it is on your mind, we're waiting. We're waiting to hear from you. We're here every Saturday at this time to give you a time to talk. The name there, that can't be Thomas. I don't know how to pronounce that. But I guess Thomas is back. Thomas, are you back? Hello, Thomas. Hello. Something must be wrong with your line. We're not hearing anything from you. We just know you're on the line. Okay, we're sorry about that. It's not from this end, I hope. If you are watching and you want to say something, we still have about 10-11 minutes to go on today's program, so you can still dial any of the numbers and talk to us. I'm more concerned with what's happening around you. Talk about SARS. You know, we've talked about SARS on this program, the indiscriminate arrests. People are still worried about it. Have you seen anything lately? Do you notice any changes for the better? These are things that concern us. Let's pay attention to them. A clean environment, the roads around you. These are the things you expect from your government. Security and good roads. I don't want to talk about water. I hear some areas have a public water system. I know every house provides water for itself, so I don't so much bother about water, honestly. Not that water is not important. I'm saying it hasn't been the agenda of government for some time, except where it's been already, maybe the Suleres, the Koyis, and all those places, the Yabas, where they have public water system. You may talk about water there, but talk about the developing areas. They're on their own. Okay, Thomas, you are back.
Hello. Hello, good morning.
You're welcome. Welcome.
Hello.
Thomas, I can hear you. Go ahead. Go ahead. You are welcome. Go ahead.
I want to complain about the NEPA stuff. I know I've been watching your station and listening to everybody complain, but I still need to add our own included to it, because
I said that something was wrong with that line. That's the third or so time he's calling, and he's not been able to speak to us. Well, whatever you want to say about PHCN, I'm afraid it's been said already, because the story does not change. It's either you don't have light, you've been living in darkness, or you are having overestimated or imagined bills. I don't know what to call them. Those are the main issues. Very few people talk of steady supply of electricity. The main problem is crazy bills or no lights at all. And we've talked so much about it. We've talked so much. We don't have a solution here. But I feel the citizens themselves should, if an area, you have what they call the CDAs. I keep talking about them because that is at the grassroots where your issues can be discussed. You have meetings, you discuss them, try and take part in such meetings. I think normally landlords attend such meetings or representatives. And you discuss the issue, and if you act as a body, either to the local government or the state, you have better answer. Hello, citizen Sam. Hello, Sam. We must be having some problem somewhere. There is indication that somebody's on the line, but we can't hear the person. Hello, Sam. Wow. Hello, Sam. Are you there? Okay. About 7 minutes to go. We hope we're able to get more calls. It appears there are some hitches somewhere between the caller and us here. So Thomas has been trying to call, and Sam just tried to call. Somehow the calls cannot get through. All right, try again. If you have something burning, something on your mind you want to talk about, we still have about 6 and some seconds to go, 6 minutes and some seconds to go for today. You can call us. That's what we're here for every Saturday, is to give you a voice, you know, let people in power, people close to the decision-making unit of government, hear what is happening, because at times they do not hear. I've said so many things that were discussed on this program, and we've seen some positive results. You know what I mean? The talk of potholes in some areas, they were patched the next week. Talked of refuse bins, they were cleared the next day, and so on and so forth. And I just talked about some sign of development on the Ajao bypass, which I talked about, leading to an NPC. Some signs of work being done on the very bad sections of the road. The road is messed up by potholes now, but there's some attempt to patch them. And that's something good. That's something good. That's something good. I think it's our indifference that is our problem. We as a people are indifferent. We don't bother about what happens around us. We just concentrate on our own survival. If you can survive with your family, it doesn't matter what other people are going through. That has been our problem, and that is why we get the kind of response we get from government, because they know we don't care as a people. We cannot unite as a force and speak out. We are fighting individual battles. Hello, Ajibade.
Hello.
You're welcome to Citizens Voice.
How are you, sir?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Please, I just want to pray for you. God bless you.
And you too.
Eh?
And you too. Thank you.
For the police. Along.
Jibade is on, but I can't hear him anymore. He was talking about the police somewhere. Suddenly just went off. Oh dear. Well, sorry about that, Citizen Ajibade. You were saying something about the police somewhere. You were going to give the location, but we just lost contact. I can hear you. Are you back? Can I hear you now? Oh, still not able to hear him. Oh, I would have loved to hear what he has to say about the police somewhere. No Okada rider has called in. 15th, that was yesterday, was to be the date for the fresh campaign to stop unlawful riders. Those who do not wear vests and maybe helmets indicating their route and so on. We didn't hear much of that development. Did they arrest them? Was any Okada person arrested for that or not? Or have they settled, as it were, with the police? We didn't get to hear that. But if you are watching, we still have 5 minutes or thereabout to go. You may want to call and tell us what happened yesterday. Did you see policemen arresting Okada riders who were plying the unauthorized routes or not wearing their vests or something? It's not clear. It's not clear in Lagos. You know, you have one law being promulgated and the enforcement is different. There was a time we heard that they were restricted to certain routes, but it's like it's been relaxed and they can just go anywhere now. There was a time we heard of the fact that they must wear their vest, indicating the route they are authorized to ply. You hardly see them with vests. So the whole thing is still open, and it just goes to show how we enforce laws or how we enact laws in this country. But back to the issue of what concerns us, whether it's a dirty environment, a filthy environment, or PHCN or bad roads, we will have better results if we unite as a people. We live in areas, residential neighborhoods. If people in a particular area can raise some concern about what concerns them and go to the right places to complain, we are likely to have results. It is time we stopped acting alone. Alone meaning my own case, my own family, and that's it. We will not get results. The road is not just about your family. The water is not just about your family. Light is not just about your family. You're not the only one using it. So things like that, you know, bring us together. We need to act with one voice. We need to act with one voice. If you ask me, I think the Festac residents are leading. I've monitored most of their protests or, you know, presentations. They do it as a body. They do it as a body, and they get results. I think other areas should emulate them. If you have something that concerns you that is not working in your area and it's not just affecting you alone, team up and make a representation. It's either the local government will address the issue or the state government, or it could be the police or any other authorities. But let's act in unison. Let's act together. Let's speak with one voice, because we'll get better results that way. You will see big men, you know, when I mean big, rich, beautiful cars, big cars, the roads to their place awful. And they just swim through that road, go and park in their compound, drive out the next day. Is there nothing we can do collectively, those who live in that area, for example, and make that road better, either with assistance from the local government or something? Hello, Mike. Can we hear you?
Yeah, good afternoon.
You're welcome to Citizens Voice.
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, I want to appreciate you for your wonderful contribution to nation building.
Thank you.
And God will continue to strengthen you.
Amen.
I'm going to specifically talk about the area called Idiaraba. Precisely the road called Isaga Close that is going to the then you can also use it to access Lute, Pitul, and then the College of Medicine.
Okay.
Then you go down to Ojai Day Street.
Okay.
That is bad.
Okay.
And people are free from the consequences of that battle. And it's resulting from the drainage seems to be blocked around the so it is not flowing and it's blocked. In fact, in effort we made to clear certain time around, we have not seen much of the clearing. So people pass through hell whenever it rains there. Don't know how you use the opportunity. Maybe the local government authorities are listening, and if they can come to the aid and fix that, especially the area beside the Access Bank and going the university gate there. They can assist to fix that place into way with us. So many people there could get stuck there, and people are suffering.
Okay. So
the
road is rough, you mean? Potholes or something, Abi?
The potholes too much completely bad.
Okay. Okay.
Especially beside that Access Bank.
Okay.
Something can be done about it.
Okay. Right. We've heard Mike there talking about that road. He's described it so well, so I'm sure the authorities will know. And that's what we're talking about. Now, he mentioned that the thing is so close to a bank. And I know banks have what they call social responsibility, yes? Corporate social responsibility. And I don't know if there's an effective CDA there. It's a question of liaising with the bank and maybe some other individuals or corporate citizens there. And something could be done in conjunction with the local government. And they will just jump at it. They'll just jump at it. But that indifference, you know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's not for me. It's not about me. And everybody leaves it, and it goes on like that. Well, the authorities should take note, but the CDA also take note. That's a very popular and busy area that should not be in that kind of condition, especially when you talk of commercial banks working there. You know, customers are going to come to your bank. Why not just team up and make a representation to the appropriate authorities, and that road could just be fixed. Yes, if we don't care, nobody will care about it. That's how we conclude today's program. Let us be more active in things that concern us. Let's team up and take action, not violent action. Make a representation, speak with one voice, write a letter and sign. And when the government sees that we are talking, not just one person talking, the government will respond. At least they'll give you their own side and tell you what could be done. That's how to make progress in societies. We'll be back here next week, God willing. Thank you again for the wonderful company. Special thanks to all those who called today and to the wonderful team here in the studios. This program is for you, it's about you. All we're hoping is that with what we say on this program, what you say on this program, things will come out better in our society. Brighten up the face with some smiles, and if you see someone without any, give him one of yours. I am Ambrose Ezewani.